And while election officials and volunteers are hard at work making sure every vote counts, the numbers coming in are really revealing some new information about voters in our state this time around.
Yeah, so joining us this morning live on Today in AZ is Tom Riley. He is the co-director of the Center for an Independent and Sustainable Democracy. So Tom, thanks so much for waking up with us here on Today in AZ. We appreciate it. We have talked so much, Tom, about the number of independent voters in this election cycle, thinking this was really going to play big here. So how has this really impacted the votes we've seen so far?
Well, we're seeing about 60% of the vote being returned right now. A part of that is due to the new law that requires that drop-off ballots be counted at the drop-off centers before they're transported. But right now we're seeing, independents generally, if we look at some of the exit polling, are underperforming. They're about 35% of the electorate, but they're only about 28% of those that return ballots. Exit polling is showing is that overall of those independents, about 4% trended towards Trump.
And as you look at some of those early results that are coming in, you said we're getting about 50% of them right now. Do you expect any races to really see some of those major shifts once more numbers are dropped?
Well, we're looking at the U.S. Senate race, and Gallegos is holding a slight lead over Kari Lake. Maricopa County will be interesting. The Maricopa County board is kind of neck and neck. It could flip to the Democrats overall, with a couple races still being determined. On the ballot front, it looks like the abortion ballot passed handily, or will, as well as the immigration bill. And then attempts to kind of beat back direct democracy by making it tougher to get ballots on to voters. It looks like all those were pretty much beat back. At least that's what it's looking like right now.
Yeah, really interesting, Tom. We saw people willing to stand in line for hours late night. We just saw some of that video right here of people who were waiting in these long lines. I want to ask you if this speaks maybe to the high stakes of this election for so many voters.
It does. I think one is that it's, the problems at the voting booth were unremarkable, which is a good thing, right, for Arizona. So we didn't see any really major problems. But we did see a lot of people waiting in line. They were lined, hour or so after it closed, which I think kind of speaks to the interest that individuals have. Some of the exit polling is kind of interesting, is that Gen Z voters were kind of the only group that went handily for Harris. Each of the other generations seemed to have trended towards Trump.
And we know people waking up today are all going to be in different moods depending on how they felt going into this election. We heard from people in Arizona that were feeling election fatigue, some people feeling excitement. How do you think our nation and Arizonans are waking up this morning?
Well, we did get a lot of love, right? Attention in Arizona too. So the thought that many Arizonians have a bit of election fatigue is not surprising, right? Because it has been a very long election and it's been somewhat, very contentious. But a lot of races in Arizona are still kind of, up for grabs, since we still have a large portion of votes that need to be counted. And we have, basically three types of votes. We have the early vote, we have the election day vote, and then we have those late earlies, those that kind of voted early but waited till election day to turn them in. So we still have to do a lot of verification of signatures before those votes are counted.
Yeah, as so many people say, it's not over till it's over. And that's why a lot of these races, as they have been very close here in Arizona. Tom Riley, thank you so much for helping us provide context for all of our Today in AZ viewers. He is the co-director of the Center for an Independent and Sustainable Democracy. Again, Tom, thank you for being here.